Today, guys, we're going to be taking over for Luke because Luke is sick. Or, no, he's not sick. He had surgery, so he's going to be
Yeah,
out for a few days.
hope he gets better soon.
Yeah. So he's going to be out for a few days, so we're going to help him with robot ratings. So I'm Parker from 76868, joined by my teammate Ezra, and then James from Snack and Cakes. We're going to be looking at some robots.
All right. Starting off, we have Brandon from Ontario. Robot in 3 days hit 84 kills. That's pretty impressive for 3 days. I'm not quite sure what those wall rollers are. They look to be like either metal or polycarb. But no wall stakes, so that's for sure something to work on. But I'm assuming that since this is 2 months old,
It's
completely different.
It looks unfinished. There's some things that he needs to add, such as like pneumatic tubing on the intake lifter. Right over there, there's not much. There's no pneumatic tubing in there, so I'm assuming he's going to add that later.
Also, gonna assume that this was already tuned a lot. Like we are in the same region as this guy, and well, congratulations to him first of all for winning Riverbots was his new bot, and yeah, what would you guys give this? I'd say a C tier.
I would say B or C, yeah.
I'd say A. Or yeah, B, because no wall stakes. But wait, I want to point out one more thing. Notice how he has an anti-roller similar to what Ace started running last year in over-under right before Ignite. I think that's a pretty interesting concept. It doesn't look like he uses any plexi down there, so definitely something different.
C tier. Moving on to the next one. Alder from 7447G or 15545G. So 6-0 and 1 excellence.
Super clean side plates.
Yeah, this looks like a basic Lady Brown.
Normal clamp.
I like the coloring in it, the black and orange. That's pretty good. And the plates are pretty cool.
Yeah. The brain placement isn't that bad, and since Liam isn't here, I'm gonna be the battery placement judge, and I'd say it's not the worst.
No,
they do use clips though, but they could replace those with like rubber bands or zip ties. But that's besides the point.
It looks like he's also running a 5.5 watt Lady Brown. I can't quite see the other side, but I don't see any wires or anything going from over there.
Yeah, I think it's only 5.5 watt, which is fine.
I highly recommend that. I think having a 16.5 watt intake is way better because then you can run the stages for coding. And really, we ran a 5.5 watt. We were able to D-score fine and score quickly, even against defense. So there's just no reason to run 11 watts.
Yeah, I mean, I give this. There's only certain things you can criticize about this bot. I'd say the motor sticks out a bit, and the hook looks like it's bent a bit out of shape. I'm not sure if that's by design or not, so I'd probably give this an A tier.
Yeah, I'd give this an A tier.
I agree with that. And then I take back my comment. Looking at the second photo, I can see another 5.5 on the other side.
Oh,
so he does run an 11 watt Lady Brown.
Which is fine.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, so double crown with drum roll. Extremely mid skills. So
pretty hard to see that.
Yeah, I think it's a fish mech if I'm looking at it correct.
I think it is.
That is.
I don't recommend fish mech. It is extremely easy to play defense against. We run the same wall rollers though, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, but the one buys across for X bracing is kind of interesting, I guess. I would not recommend one buys.
It's not really doing anything because they're not structurally sound.
So I would switch that out for like some angled or just C channels would work fine.
Also, the standoffs to the gear connected to the fish neck.
Oh yeah,
that is not very good. I would not recommend that. I would either move your gears in, or figure out how to have a wider fish neck. But I would not recommend the standoffs. You can see that there is minor bending on the verge of major bending on those.
Yeah,
and then
overall, I'd say air tank placement looks really good though. Like,
that's very centralized place to put air. Yeah.
Some wire is pretty solid as well.
Yeah.
Oh, your doinker is your L channel is already bent, so I'd recommend maybe boxing that or switching that to a C channel or something. 'Cause that thing is wavy.
I'd say it's B tier.
B tier.
B tier? Yeah, I think that's fair.
All right, and then we can skip this next one because it's
Yeah.
already reviewed.
I'd say that's an S tier easily. Anyways,
Honestly, that robot was an F tier, to be honest.
That robot was awful. He could not score on wall stakes.
Real.
I see.
All right. So this one, 17711E. So
Super clean intake.
clean overall wire management.
It looks like they have.
It's super clean.
Yeah.
Looks like they have a fingernail mech. You see the fingernail mech on the front of their intake, Parker?
Maybe.
I don't know if that
That's
sticks
for
out
look.
far enough, actually.
No, that's not. I think that's just for looks and cross
I
bracing.
agree. That's my bad. Are they running redirect? It looks
Yeah.
like it.
Looks
It's really
like a
far out, though.
redirect. Not.
Yeah.
It looks like a redirect.
Yeah, for sure is. Super clean plates, super clean side plates. Good geometry on the intake. Pretty low CG.
The only thing I would say about this robot is it looks pretty outdated, to be honest. The redirect is probably slow, and the intake, I don't know. The intake just looks old. So I don't know if this is an
Yeah.
older bot, but
I mean, it
I
is
would definitely.
months ago.
Yeah.
Months ago, sorry.
So I
We're
definitely
assuming
switch
rebuilt,
your wall
but-
stakes to either a Lady Brown or something else because redirect is kind of out of style and out of play.
All right, we got Carl from 8889A.
I think this is an instant F tier, to be honest.
Real, this robot, very interesting design actually, because you see they're using the flaps.
Yeah.
And because of that, I think we kind of have to give it an F tier. In addition to that, they also don't have any world squalls right now because they had them, but then they lost them. So I think that's another reason for an F tier.
G1 violation is never okay.
Yeah.
In all seriousness,
I have to say, as the beneficiary of Jason Chungus, I would like to say F. Press F. Press F to pay respect, but honestly, looking at it, this bot looks like an A tier bot, perfectly A tier.
Perfectly A tier.
I think this is my favorite hood direct of the season, at least. It was also a piston lift, which was really nice because then they could have a 2-motor intake, which you can see gives them very quick cycle times.
Yeah.
Super light lift, so then they could use pistons, obviously. I think it was a phenomenal bot for that point of the season, for sure.
Who's
That
this
point
kid?
of the season, I'd give it an F tier, but looking back on like where we're at now, I'd probably give it an A tier.
Yeah.
This is still an extremely good bot. Hood redirect is not. If you're do redirect, do hood.
It's viable for
redirect
skills.
is just too slow. So
Yes.
A tiers. All right.
Here.
Jackson from 99040N. Double crowned with tournament champ and Innovate. Probably the only team that submitted an Innovate for that. All right. With the auto clamp.
I wouldn't recommend auto clamp actually.
So looking at this robot, I think, is this a Lady Brown?
This is a very interesting Lady Brown.
Yeah.
It looks extremely light, which is a good thing, I would say. But I don't know, actually.
This is very different. I haven't seen this or anything like this before.
I mean, looking at it, it is. I mean, it. They did win tournament champion, which means maybe the region
Not
just
too good.
washed.
It must have been decent at least, yeah.
Yeah.
11 watt Lady Brown, 11 watt intake, 6-motor drive. They run a 3-hole gap. That's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks
Very
like
thin
the
bottom.
bot has a hang as well.
Looking down at the drivetrain, they got some, like, these little roller things at the bottom. I don't know what those are for. Maybe to stop tipping if you go down to the front of the drive. You
Yeah.
can see those, like, I don't know
those-
if you need those.
I mean, if you need them because of how tippy your bot is, then that means it's probably not the best. So I'd say B tier.
B tier.
I'm going to give it a B tier. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. 94517X.
Super clean bot.
Super clean.
Let's look that up.
Mecha Maelstrom. They had a super sick reveal as well.
Yeah, that Doinker looks like it's unbreakable.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's really solid. It's really small, so then you can obviously fit it in small spaces like the corner, which you need to do. And then I want to point out their hooks. Their hooks are definitely very different. We don't see them running that triangle. We see them running this rectangular piece with a curved edge, which I'm going to assume is on purpose because it's on multiple hooks. Or wait, no, that's their
I think
That's the thing for the rings.
Like
Yeah.
ring guards.
yeah.
You can't really see their hooks in this. I'm assuming they're just running the triangle ones.
I'm gonna assume as well.
Yeah.
But a lot of teams run these huge ring guards, and that's not really necessary. It takes up unnecessary space. So just running something like this is definitely very beneficial to your robot. Super clean bot. I'm gonna give it an S tier.
Yeah, they looks like they have color sorting too, so I'm gonna give it an S tier.
And then they also do spacers in the front stage as well,
Yeah.
which helps. All right, Lawrence 886R.
88.
All right, looks like
Let's see.
it's touching tips because the tips of the Lady Browns are touching.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I can't really be a judge of the spot since most of the bot is camouflaged behind.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell what's
I-
going on here, but it just looks like a basic Lady Brown bot, which
Yeah.
almost everyone's running.
I wanna
The
point
top
out
stage of the
something.
intake's kind of interesting, where it has a second like L channel sticking out of the back. I don't know what that's for. Where it has like the C channel and another L channel attached.
I'm gonna guess
kinda
that's just like accidental
Yeah, scoring more vertically. So for
line stake.
I guess. But
One thing I actually want to point out on 886Y's bot, if you look over at the front stage of their intake, it's actually geared. So that's really good because chain, you have to worry about snapping a lot. It's the same thing we saw last year in Over Under, where everyone started with these chained, and then quite a few people are actually switching over to geared now because it's a little bit more reliable. You don't have to worry about it skipping as much in one. So they were pretty ahead of meta for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I
I think
can't really give this a rating, but
let's just give it a B tier. Pretty average.
too.
yeah, B tier because it's we won't have any idea how it is.
Mm-hmm.
Insane qual scores.
These are genuinely insane. He got a 62, then a 57, and he got two 62s in
262.
qual.
That's pretty good.
That's crazy. Let's look over at the bot though. Super clean plates. He runs chained motor. And that's just for spacing him in, I guess.
Yeah.
The only thing is the radio mount probably isn't the best. You might want to have it higher in a way.
Not that big of a deal though.
No, it's away from like electronics though. That's good. Good triangle bracing using plexi instead of like L channels or something, because that's an easy way to save weight. He also uses plastic nuts on his drivetrain.
Yeah, nice.
Another great way to save
Nylon.
weight.
Good brain placement.
It looks like he's also using are those zip ties on the chain? They look like them to me, but I could be wrong.
That I don't know. It's kind. It might just be the holes in the chain.
Yeah,
I think it's too hard.
Max-
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd have to get a closer look.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, clean bot.
A tier.
A tier.
Happy Halloween. So this robot has an interesting hand mechanism that we haven't really seen before.
Yeah.
Looks like painting it red.
Very interesting claw here. I think this claw does need a little bit more maintenance on its fingernail mechs. The fingernail mechs are
down a
looking
little bit.
Yeah.
down. Yeah.
I feel like the mech is also not looking at it. The cut is not the cleanest either. So
Maybe use
Yeah,
a laser
definitely.
cutter or something in the future.
yeah,
Could definitely
maybe
clean it.
CNC would cut it better.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe CNC,
All right.
water saw, laser saw. One of the. I'm gonna have to give this a C tier.
Well,
C tier, yeah.
all right. Next, we have Connor from 7686X.
So
Mhm.
looking at this robot, few issues. This wall stick mech is very out of date. Very, very old. Doesn't really score very well. So definitely switch that to a Lady Brown or a redirect or a direct mech or really anything else.
It has a piston lift, which is nice because then you can have a 2-motor intake. And then I also see that it looks like they're running a split intake, so that's nice for coding as well.
They are also running a 480 RPM drive. I don't know if you could tell that, but little insider knowledge, some could say. So that's a good speed if you want to be a little faster than 450.
Yeah.
Good
The only
tank
worry
weight.
about 480 is the fact that it's easier with it's like if you're running 480, you should probably stack your motors, which isn't great for spreading out your CG. And then also it's a bit of a shorter drive. If you want to do 4 holes with 480, it becomes kind of too long. So yeah. Also, interesting bracing on their pneumatic tank using an 1x.
Very interesting. But got the W, so I have to give this a B tier.
I'm giving it an F tier.
Like same rule that applied to our lobster bot.
Bro.
Mm-hmm. All right. Next, 1079X.
First thing I noticed is the sheer amount of zip ties.
I think
For
that's for
sure.
Auton,
Yeah,
so that way they can
To make sure they touch hole. Yeah. It looks like they're running
600, I believe.
no. Yeah, for sure. No.
Oh no, wait.
No, it's not.
No, they're not
600.
running 600. The wheels are. I think it's 450.
Mm-hmm. And then another
oh, I
thing
feel like
is
it's 360 actually.
Wait, I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
what wheel. Is that a 60 tooth on the drive?
Yeah, it looks like 36 to 62.
60. Yeah, so that would be 360.
3.25s. Yeah, so 360.
Okay.
all right. And then looking at their wall rollers, they have the same thing Juggernauts has to help with their hang and whatnot of the free spinning gears on the front of the drivetrain to allow them to maneuver a bit with hang. But those wall rollers on top aren't really going to do anything
Yeah.
because the front gear sticks out equally as far, like the one that you have for hang, and then also it's not going to go against the wall because you have the other gear there as well. So
Yeah.
those gears aren't doing anything. I would recommend getting rid of those, but once again, this is pretty old, so I'm going to assume that you don't have the same bot. Another thing I want to point out is it really has unique geometry on its Lady Brown. A lot of Lady Browns we see just going straight. However, this one uses a 45 degree gusset or something along those lines to get that angle.
Looks like
Well,
they
it's not a
just
gusset. It's just a C channel sticking out.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, also looking at the climb, maybe running it through elastic bands is better, or spring tension, or something like that, because the piston might bend.
Yeah.
Because then you can just have a release and you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, wiring and pneumatics looks a bit jank, and air tank
Could definitely.
could definitely.
Yeah, could definitely clean that up.
Also uh, looks like it's definitely a half watt Lady Brown and split intake, half motor for pre-roller and half for hooks. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah, for sure. Good bracing across the whole bot. It has great build quality. For
I
sure.
would maybe recommend adding a third wheel or a fourth wheel, because just so you don't sink in the tiles as much. But that's really not super. I don't know. You don't need to do that necessarily, but it's just
Yeah.
generally a good thing to do.
Yeah. I feel like it only makes sense to run 4 wheels if you're extremely light. And this robot, I don't think is very light.
Yeah, and another thing I just noticed, maybe the C channels, I'm not sure if I'm correct, but I believe they are built uh, inward. So basically, you know how every single bot, it's bracket.
Mm-hmm.
So it's bracket, and then so open bracket, close bracket, close bracket. This looks like it's close bracket, open bracket, open bracket.
Mm.
Yeah. It's
So
it's
like,
interesting.
yeah, feel like this is run more like this, more like
Yeah.
yeah. So that
I'm
seems
gonna give it I think I'm gonna give it a B tier.
I think a B tier is fair.
B tier is very fair.
All right. Next we have
Oh wow, that's S tier.
S tier automatically.
the same.
Look at
All
the
right.
stolen capability on
Look,
this
he's
bot.
showing us you can do wheelies.
He's also showing us his toes.
Yeah.
Oh, this is lovely. I really do like the carpet. I feel like that's
Carpet
like
has a very
one thing.
unique design.
Exactly. A lot of teams don't really utilize it as much. I also like how the claw can sway side to side so much. Giving it so much give allows for it to brace for impact really easily, for sure.
Yeah. So
Has to be an S tier.
has to be.
Has to be S tier.
All right.
All right, Chase
Yeah.
4828X.
Looks
So
like you got TC, excellence, and skills.
certificate of participation.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. It looks like he's. Is that redirect? I
I
think it
believe
is.
that is redirect.
I believe
Yes.
that's a hook redirect.
So
Yeah,
definitely
definitely.
a little old, but I'm assuming you switched by now, so that's not that big of a deal. Um,
The robot seems pretty thin, but I can't really tell.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that brain placement? Look,
I don't know if that's the best. I would definitely see if I could relocate it more towards the inside of the bot.
because you're
But
leaving your battery wire exposed.
Even,
yeah,
even directly under the hooks isn't as bad. Like right now, it also looks like that brain a ring might hit the brain. So
yeah.
Well, I'm gonna assume, yeah, I guess. But the only thing I would change is the brain cover, I guess. Otherwise, clean bot. Congrats. Let's give it a A tier.
I'm thinking more of a B tier
yeah,
for redirect.
Yeah, you're right. My bad. I forgot about that. All right.
A
We
video.
got Harry from 9651X Cinder Block.
oh, oh,
These are guys are a Canadian team. They've got Hood Reader or Hood Lady Brown.
yep. Cinderblock is a great. They are a great team. They have an interesting design. They have a Hood Lady Brown, who is a piston activated Lady Brown.
Seems pretty clean. I don't really have any
What?
huge feedback for it.
I mean, insider information here. Their bot at this stage they had slight struggles with the intake, but generally it was really a really clean build. At least looking at it from afar.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like one difficulty here for sure is like going under the ladder because
Yeah,
you literally are not able to go under the ladder with Hood Lady Brown for most of the part because he has to either go around when he's filling up goals with his arm up or if he puts his arm down. I'm not sure, but it doesn't look like he's under 16 inches. That's just my personal observation. I could be completely wrong though.
yeah. Their Doinker also L channel, like a singular L channel. They braced it later, but yeah, from here it's a bit jank.
Yeah.
Clean wall stake scoring geometry though.
Yes, I give this A tier.
A tier. Yep. So we're looking at 252H. Holy cow.
Oh,
So
I just remembered. This is from our local event. Yeah.
And
so
it looks like we're running a hook redirect.
hook redirect.
Hook redirect,
They
I
do
believe
have
that's a two ring redirect.
to ring.
Yeah. It looks like they're running a 16.5 watt intake.
I'm not so sure about the big gear on the intake. That's I don't know. That's sticking out a little bit. People can run into that, but I guess it's not super big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Overall, it's
wire I don't know. Wire management could be a little better.
Could be a little better. I know this was built in a week, so I'm gonna cut them a little bit of slack. So, but also climb looks not the worst, though the piston again could be bent.
they do a good job matching the geometry of the hang though in their climb.
Yes.
I highly recommend that. Clean plates, clean side plates. They're running 2 traction wheels, which I don't feel like is needed. Um, I feel like 1 traction wheel's fine. It's nicer to have more omnis because you are able to be a little bit quicker on turns and whatnot, but it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah. And also,
Overall, clean bot, just redirect is not it anymore, unfortunately. So
yeah. Congrats
B
on
tier.
yeah, B tier. Congrats on the excellence, I guess.
Yeah, congrats on excellence.
That's a cool award.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
Parker, you recognize this
caution
bot?
tape.
Oh yeah. So
This
this
robot
bot,
is
funny story. We just like took it off the top. We were like, oh, let's take 6 inches off the top. And yeah, so this is after we tore it all apart. So this is probably like an S tier because it can score so well.
Yeah, it's got the looking at it, it's got the Bluetooth scoring system.
Yeah, it actually
this
uses the
robot.
force and scores it from picking it off straight off the ground and scores on the high stakes. So honestly, this is an S tier.
This was turned into Lady Brown, right, Parker?
Correct.
And we used that at quite a few competitions. I think we won 2 or 3 with this redesign. So overall, it was a pretty solid bot, but definitely had a lot of room for improvement, which is why it is now even more apart to the point where it's not together at all.
I mean, we still have them mostly together, but it's just like we're not using. It's just like we're stealing parts from it.
Yeah, I think we give it an H tier for H team.
Real H team on top.
Shout out 7686H Heatwave.
What's that kid's name on it?
Declan.
Declan.
Shout
Yeah,
out
if you're watching this, Declan, comment down below. All right.
Hear me out.
Over under.
Over under. Okay. Well, I think this is. I think this guy is ahead of his time.
This hang is extremely fast, tier 3. So
81889E. 81988E. Pretty unknown team from China, actually.
Yeah, pretty unknown team. Never
For sure. Yeah, super good bot though. Super quick hang.
All right, so we should probably just move on because it's not an over under robot.
Yeah, it gets F because it's not high stakes.
Real. Fish mech in action. So instantly, fish mech is not the best, but
Fish mech. I'd say as a fish mech hater, and because my sister teams are trying to build a fish mech, and I'm telling them not to, I'm gonna have to give that an F. I'm very sorry.
Oh, we told our sister teams to build fish mech.
that's because I don't think they can build anything. All right, I won't
It's really really easy to build, which
really
is great
easy
for
to
new teams.
Yeah,
For
so
sure.
if you're like a middle school team or a brand new team, a fish mech is a fine way to score wall stakes. I just would recommend trying to do something a little harder, like Lady Brown or redirect.
It's just really easy to play defense again. So I think we just give it C tier.
I'm thinking a D tier.
Yeah.
Well, everything else on the bot seems fine.
I don't know. I can't. It's kind of hard to tell. It just
All right,
looks
I'm gonna give it a C. Parker's gonna give it a D. James, what are you gonna give it?
I have to give it an F just to discourage my sister team.
All right.
real. All right, so quarterfinals so hard. Still got excellence though.
Props on excellence.
Um,
Interesting pneumatic tank mounts. I don't feel like that would be very secure.
I mean it's zip tied down on 2 sides, so I feel like it's fine. It's just like where you can fit it, you can fit it, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I don't like that battery mount though.
Yeah, that is getting hit. You were getting disconnected in a match.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the qualifying cell might have came from a disconnect, maybe.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, except for the mounts, I'd say wiring could be a bit better. The mogul clamp actually looks like it's angled down a bit too much, so maybe a bit of struggle with clamping onto a mogul.
Super nice truck. It's in great condition, it looks like.
I'll give you 10 grand for it.
Yeah. Parker's in need of a car, I guess.
Yeah, hit me up if you're in the comment section. I'll get it off Facebook Marketplace or something.
Hey, moving on to the bot. One interesting thing that I noticed is if you look at the first stage, they have a really good tensioner. So this eliminates the use for multiple more like gears and systems because they just have this banded tensioner. Super clean. Highly recommend if you're going with shared motors between your first and second stage. Anything else, guys?
I like the half cut gears, to fit under bar, I'm assuming. That also reduces weight. So if you could, I would do half cut gears. Those are always clean. Doinker clean, colorway clean. Just an overall clean bot.
Yeah, clean
SoCal Alliance is cracked.
Clean bot, clean truck. I'd give this A or S.
I give this an A tier.
Yeah.
I agree with that. All right. We got Blorb.
First of all, I'm not sure that's a Vex legal controller, so for that, I'm going to have to give this an F tier already. Cheating is not allowed on the Luke Robotics YouTube channel. So,
and then second off, I want to point out their back. So they have a really, really good back. This plexiglass helps them line up for alliance stake. This helps a lot to save time in driver skills for sure. Makes it a little bit easier for the driver. And then also it gives you a more consistent auton. Good clamp. Good inertial. Where is battery?
I think battery's just like shoved in there. You can't really see.
I think their battery is
Awesome. That's how it should be. You shouldn't be able to find your battery. The more hidden a battery is, the better. So for that. Oh, and then they also have alignment wedge on their intake.
Yeah. They also run a plexi. Oh wait, is that? Oh, that is L channels. Okay, but they run L channels and plexi to help support it, so that's always nice. Just overall clean bot.
I'm gonna give it S tier.
I'm thinking S tier.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
thinking S tier. Oh, S tier, but do watch out. That controller is not Vex legal. Make sure you don't use that during an actual comp.
Or like during if you're piloting like a sub or something, like a submarine, you
Oh,
definitely
that's
don't want to use
Logitech controller.
Yeah, I
This
was
is-
gonna say don't use.
Definitely not using that controller while exploring the Titanic.
Yeah.
It's
All
from
right,
Bell's Body Reason, of course.
we got Scott from 5013X.
It's red. First thing I noticed.
It's very red. It's also very tippy.
I think that's just because they don't really have anything on it yet, to be fair.
Mhm.
So, fix the tipping issues. I don't really know what else to say about this. It's fast. The intake is clean, or looks clean. Nice.
Running intake. There's not really enough to commentate on.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
far, it's good. So because it's not finished though, I'm just gonna give it a B tier because there's so many systems that aren't done yet that we can't really rate.
I'm gonna give it a red tier because it's red.
Yeah, I think there's a red B tier somewhere around here.
Let me find it. There we go. Yeah.
I give it the red B tier.
Alrighty.
And now
We're on
it's
to
Leap.
Leap of Faith.
2796B.
All right. Where to even start? So first of all, they run a plexi intake, which is good for weight savings. Very clean. They run what is it called, a fingernail mech, correct? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, fingernail neck.
To get rings from the corner. They have intake lifted. This bot is just a good lady brown bot, to be honest.
One thing I want to point out about the lifted intake, it's very, very unique. They don't use a screw or anything. They actually have a
zip tie attached. That way they can pull it up from weird angles, which I like.
Exactly.
Yeah, they have
Very unique for sure.
Also, yeah, their intake is also controlled by pistons, so that helps with Auton a lot.
Mm-hmm.
They have pretty good placement. Their wiring could be a bit better, but
it looks like it's one of the Lady Browns that can still fit within the 24-inch expansion.
Yes, that's a short round they have.
Yeah, that's really nice for line stake and autos and stuff. And then you can also save times in your skills runs like 9123C.
Yeah, I feel like this is a genuinely pretty clean bot. I believe this is their 9th rebuild this season.
Holy.
Oh my god.
That's
pretty impressive.
Yeah, I was at their scrim just on Sunday. They are currently running their 11th rebuild, so
I think it's super clean. I'm gonna give it an S tier.
Yeah. S tier for Leap of Faith.
Sorry for selling at MOA. All right.
99319B. So it's a new cat robot CAD. Decided Lady Brown would be better than Redirect. Correct.
Good job.
correct. Yeah. I mean, one obvious thing I'm looking at right now is no chain on the intake, so that's a slight problem.
Bluetooth mech.
I'm also looking that half the intake tower is missing. You might want. I would definitely add that in your final design.
In addition to that, the Lady Brown right now is just C channels. I would recommend adding some sort of compression in there. Yeah. Otherwise, your rings are just gonna fly through.
As well as potentially adding a radio and a battery that would help with the DC issue.
Yeah. And then also, you're not actually going to be able to use those motors unless they're connected. We figured that out at our most recent comp, actually. We didn't use any wires on our robot whatsoever for weight savings. But then nothing worked. So just, helping you learn from our
Bluetooth connectors don't work very well.
Yeah.
I, so I'm gonna give that an. I'd say looking at it like right now, it looks pretty clean. It's not a short arm, so I'd say B tier, A tier.
I'm thinking.
Okay.
Yeah, F tier.
All right.
The Bluetooth
Yeah.
system is not as strong as you think it is.
It's just because it's like very unfinished. Even if you're doing CAD, you should still try to finish as much as possible. I get not doing the wires and stuff like that, but boxing, compression, all that stuff should have been done in
Yeah.
CAD.
I'm not the
All
one to
right.
talk though, since our team does not CAD at all.
Real.
We build and then we CAD.
Yeah, the CAD's only for the notebook.
Mhm. All right. Now we got Ali, revised bot with passive hang. Not really sure.
I'm not okay. The gearing system for the redirect is extremely interesting because the way they have it, it's like I don't even know what is going on here. So they have a chain. And they also have an L channel connected to the gear.
The backpack actually, Parker. Well, it's
Back.
like it scores like a backpack. You know what I mean? Like it goes backwards.
Oh,
Back.
it goes backwards.
Interesting.
It's a redirected
I
back.
didn't watch the video.
Definitely an interesting design.
Yeah,
It's the fanny
It does,
piece.
does seem very heavy, and then also you would have to drop your mobile goal in order to do that, which I don't think is ideal. You should be able to always hold on to a mobile goal while you're scoring wall stakes and whatnot. That way you can safely hold on to the third goal and whatnot, or go for negative plays and other things of the sort.
yeah. Not sure how this would really be classified, but I guess we can call this the fanny pack mech.
Fanny pack Mac. Yep.
Backpack.
I mean, generally, except for that, I guess wiring looks clean. The battery mount is definitely really nice, and
Definitely very heavy though. There's got to be a lot of room for weight savings on this thing for sure.
yeah,
Yeah. I don't know what to think about the bent C channels sticking out. Like they're like the cutting is weird on that. I don't know. It's just interesting, I guess. If you look at the front, it's like they're like angled and their cutting is it's like bent around. So I don't know if I'd run that. Just run plexi pieces for that probably to save weight. But
Yeah, there's
yeah,
quite a few bent pieces on here.
yeah.
yeah, just some.
Mm-hmm. Make sure the bot's in size as well. Looks like it might be a bit too long. I think being a bit too long, obviously not the best for a match.
All
Also,
right.
I am noticing. Hold on, hold on. I'm noticing that there's some screws without nuts. So make sure all your screws have nuts on them and are like attached. So yeah,
And then, yeah, I'm gonna give this. I think we give this a C tier.
the
I
C tier. Yeah, interesting wall stick.
Yeah, definitely unique wall stakes. So congrats on that. We always love to see more wall stakes besides just Lady Brown. Just no
How do you
redirect.
custom? 4 day before comp, and I got to add Lady Brown.
I'm not really sure what those gears up top on the top of the intake are doing for him.
I'm pretty sure they might be running green motor drive
they
for
might be
because that's a
running green.
speed ratio. Yeah, which I mean, I don't know. I would always just run blue because blue are the most effective, and you can gear them down so that way they don't burn out. But and you don't have to use such big gears to get actual like decent speed.
Yes.
Cut your high strength axle, but that you're probably gonna get around to that. Front stage, um, definitely could change the pivot point. I don't know. You have like just C channels stacked on top of C channels, so I don't know what to think about that, but it's whatever, I guess.
Wear management could definitely use a little bit of work, but once again, this bot is rushed, so understandable.
And unfinished, so yeah. So
But
is it just me or is the top tower like leaning a little bit? Or am I tripping? I feel like it's
I
leaning.
see that too. I
I
like
see that
leaning to
too.
the.
It's like leaning to the right. So definitely fix that. Make sure everything's connected.
Yeah.
But
Also, build a bit less on the field. The field looks a bit rough right now.
Yeah. Also, I would recommend if you're able to have that top motor on the second stage, lower down for sure. Do that. Having a lower CG is very beneficial for match play. It also negates tipping and whatnot.
Mhm.
having one motor up there is not the biggest deal, I'd say. So it's not like something you
Mm.
die over. I don't know how it would work well with Lady Brown because the Lady Brown does have to go down there. So maybe you already moved it, but I'd definitely switch that.
Yeah.
Overall, decent bot. C tier.
C tier.
C tier. C or D. I don't know.
All right. Next, we got Derek from 67101G.
Sister Team Active. That looks like the S tier bot from earlier today.
Dude, look
I
at
feel
this.
like,
They have peak cross bracing. They
Yeah,
have
yeah,
so much cross bracing. They have like perfect gearing on their drivetrain.
and a
It's
one
matched
motor
so well.
clamp. So I
And
think
one
that
piston clamp. They figured it out before us. You guys, this is sauce. This is an S tier for sure.
yeah, S
S
tier.
tier.
All right. Next
D.
week.
It made the robot 2 days before the comp. So this definitely looks like a robot built in 2 days, and it's extremely impressive for 2 days, I would say. But wire management, that just make your own wires, man. It is not that hard
Mm-hmm.
because
Putting those gears on the outside and the wheels on the inside does actually give you a slightly quicker turn speed. Definitely not needed, but that is a side effect of doing that.
clean mobile go clamp, I would say.
Yeah, clean-ish aligners.
Yeah, and the polycarb cuts look clean-ish. So the
I'm
color
gonna
does
assume
look
that.
a bit off.
I feel
Yeah,
like these are just cut from the field, or these are old game elements where the back ones and the front ones. I don't know what the front ones are.
the
Yeah.
front one, the front left one, I have no clue what it is, but the middle one, that's a flag from what was that game?
I think it was like, no, that's not the flag. That's the little that's the little thing on top of the switch up.
Oh, from Change Up.
Yeah, change up, not switch up. I always get mixed up, but yeah, they have switch up plexi. So I mean,
I might maybe see some issues with your license plates since they're tilted technically.
I don't feel like most refs would call that though.
I don't
Yeah.
think anyone would
Otherwise,
call that.
Yeah,
super
Our
clean robot.
yeah, our license plates at Lobster was way more tilted than that, so I think it's okay.
I think it's fine. I'd give this a C tier. For about in 2 days, it's not bad.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm gonna give it a B. I'm just completely ignoring the wire management though. All right. A Muthio 1618A.
Well, there shouldn't be a wrong state, ideally.
Touch this video here.
First of all, I'd like to say that bot
What?
What is this?
that bot do
I
be
don't-
a little bit too that bot do be a little bit too long, and also I feel like this is a school team.
Hey, there's nothing
I
wrong with
don't.
school
What kind of
teams.
wall stick is that? Fish mech or what am I looking at here?
I think it's. I want to see it.
It's kind of like it kind of looks like a reject. It kind of has that like same general cage shape, but I don't really know. I want to
I
see it
feel
work.
like they put it like on the top of their intake, and then they.
Oh, maybe it's like a Lady Brown.
It's Lady Fish. Fish
I want to
Lady
see it work though. They should show us it.
for real. Definitely thing. I'm gonna
Interesting.
give it a C tier.
I'm gonna give this an F tier.
I mean, I'm gonna give it a D tier, because like it's not the best, but I guess material constraints.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Also, fix the walls on your field so that way they're not like 3 inches off the actual field tiles.
Yeah, that looks like Riverbot's field.
Next,
Yeah.
we got Lan.
Intake rebuild advice would be appreciated. Okay, so
I mean,
He does a
first of
great
all,
job doing double chain for most of this part. I see one stage where it's not double chained.
you kind of need a drivetrain. That's pretty important, but maybe you're building off the drive, so I don't know.
Well, he could also be doing what Kudos does and relying on like a sister team or something.
Yeah,
That is like drivetrain.
Oh, the drivetrain pushes it into the clamp.
Yep.
yeah.
And
Uh,
just uses him as an intake basically.
Oh, that'd be tough.
Buddy Hood.
Buddy Hood. Yeah, I
Okay.
think they just found out the new meta. That's definitely an S tier because they discovered a new meta.
I'd give that an F tier actually, because looking at the brain, it's more than 24 inches outside of the bot. It's not even.
And that is
Ooh.
definitely getting hit.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's outside of size limit,
Mhm.
It's legal.
But except for that, I can't really judge the angle by the hood, but looking at it might be a bit spaced out too much a bit as well. So like,
Yeah. Move
They
those
do have
in.
that- Yeah, they're not going for redirect because then they would have their chain different. Clean build though.
we have
So far.
yeah. Now we got Quibbles from 21520A now. Bro moved teams after his performance at the last comp he was at.
Oh, what team was he on originally?
21520B.
He could just switch teams mid-season.
Yeah, you can. You get one team switch per season.
Yes. He was claiming how his team never showed up, which is a valid complaint.
Very
I don't.
interesting. Mobile
Yeah,
goal
but
clamp. Eight
I really
hooks.
don't know. I would not use a linear slide to prop up your mobile goal clamp. I guess if it's the only thing you have, but if you have it, just use like drilled out high strength axles. Would work about the same. I don't really know how the goal clamp works. I guess it tilts it up, so I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That thing is definitely getting stolen. So that's all I'm gonna say.
I'm gonna give it a D tier.
Yeah, I'm unfinished and doesn't really have anything. So yeah,
Carter 8110C. Hood Lady Brown.
Working. All right, see it.
I mean, looking
Very
at
cool.
it, uh,
I don't really have any critiques. You could definitely cut those C channels on the side, but maybe not. I don't know why they need to be that long, but maybe they just need to be there.
yeah, I
Other than
feel
that,
like having a cross brace structure would be a lot better as well, because right now it looks like the C channels that's holding up the Lady Brown is hanging on the
oh,
side.
oh yeah. So I added some more cross brace, but other than that, hood Lady Brown looks clean. Don't really have much to say. Battery placement, I don't know what it's attached to. I think it's just sitting there, but like, I mean, if it stays in, I guess it's fine. But maybe attach it using rubber bands or something. Other than that, clean bot.
I'm gonna give this a B tier.
B tier, yeah. All right, Fishmec Middle School at Luke. Please rate. Well, guess what? Luke is not rating this one, so
I have a brother named Luke, if that counts, though.
is he rating this?
No.
So, yeah,
Hook
exactly.
All right.
Hook Fishmec. I have my Fishmec policy. Please, if my sister team is watching this, no Fishmec.
If his sister team is watching this, you should do a Fishmec just for fun.
For wiggles and giggles.
This instantly gets an H tier, so.
This gets an H tier because our H team is building with Fishmec. Yeah, just quite a few build quality issues. There's just not adequate bracing, and it's not spaced out correctly in a lot of areas.
Also, you're using steel on your drivetrain. Don't use steel pretty much ever. It's just unnecessary, and there's better ways to get around the weight.
Yeah.
I would also recommend doing a high strength axle for your first stage. That just gives you a bit of safety because you don't want your intake bending in like a 7686B and spin up dome. Definitely less than ideal.
Real. Okay. There we go. On to the next one. Still need to build an arm and pneumatic doinger to knock down Mogo at Luke. Please rate.
Looks like they have a locking.
Wow.
Seems pretty decent. Good build quality on that. Actually, I take that back. It does seem to be a little bit uneven, but that's a pretty easy fix. Interesting hooks, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a few teams run the one hooks. I don't really know how well they work personally because I've never ran them, but if it works, it works. They run a anti roller too at the bottom instead of running plexi. I don't know if that's the best because it adds a lot of friction. So maybe switch to just having normal plexi on the bottom, but if it works, it works.
When you're using that anti-roller, it's going to contact the chain for quite a bit of that journey. So that's going to add a lot more unnecessary friction. I'm just going to give it a C tier.
I'm thinking. Nice mobile goal club.
All right. Next, we got Parsu from the 1239E.
Flashbang?
Flashbang. This is definitely not their robot, though.
I think it is, dude. This is their robot. This thing's goated.
It's like 1239E. Looks goated.
Good battery mount. Good brain mount. They're using
the new flappers to intake.
I like how they have floating intake, but it's not in a point where it's able to pick up the rings.
No, it does. How do you? It's just like it's like a vacuum.
No. They need the bulldozer teammate sister bot or
Oh,
whatever blind spot, and then they bring them the rings and just shove them at them, and then they just keep intaking and score perfectly.
Just
you guys, this is all you really need.
buddy intake.
Buddy intake. Buddy intake is a meta. Everyone should
Yeah.
run buddy intake.
Yeah. Oh god, that's an S tier.
That's how you
Let's get
save
to-
weight, not having a drive, and just having
Let's get
teams bring robots
Let's
to
get
you.
to Charles with a tribal on top of his head tier.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Really. The Charles tribal above his head tier is. We also maybe it's a Mr. Watergate Mewing tier as well.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. We love Alex Napier, who lives in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida.
Yes. I'm not going to disclose his address, but yeah.
All right.
All right. Anyway, next
Next
one.
we got
Cat.
Calder from 7447G.
I don't think that cat is in size, and it also uses more than 8 motors, so I'm automatically gonna have to give this an F tier.
Yeah. Out
Can't
of five,
really see the robot.
Out of size,
I'm gonna give it a cat with loving eyes.
I'm gonna give it a C tier for cat.
I'm gonna give it
All right. Charles. We got IDX 9599A. Old Robar. Structure is scuffed because it was modified from HUD. Dwanker seems to be holding up fine for being an L channel.
Definitely box that or add, make it a C channel.
They don't use plexiglass on the first stage, but what they do is they use L channels instead.
I would
interested.
definitely use Plexi because to save weight, but
They are a
It's not that big,
draw, yeah.
but they do have access to it, which I find interesting because we know they have access through the side plates and through the bracing across the drive.
yeah. So
So-
I don't know why they chose not to do that, but
I'm interested to see it work. I'd love to see a video of it working.
I'm pretty okay. Go up to the top stage. I'm pretty sure that axle is bending in the middle.
That
So,
axle is
Oh, it
definitely
for
bending.
sure is.
so I would
Others
definitely high strength or figure out a way
Add
to make
another
that
link
not
of pain.
bend.
Yeah.
Um,
Overall, decent bot. I'm gonna give it a C tier.
C tier, yeah.
Yeah.
Next, we got Parker from 20132B.
Honestly, this is an S tier already. I like the name. Good
Yeah.
trophy. So honestly, this gets an S tier.
Running lifted 4-bar. Definitely not ideal. Also, look at the spacing on his flex wheels on his front stage.
I mean, it can work. I don't feel like it's that big important. At least you have as long as you have 4. I've seen teams only run 2 and it's been perfectly fine.
I feel like it should be symmetrical at least, though.
Is it not symmetrical?
No.
It
No,
is
it's not.
very
Okay, yeah. We'll
asymmetrical.
space them out evenly, but other than that, it's fine. You can run 4 or 3 or whatever, as long as it's spaced out and works.
Even 2 flex wheel works very, very, very well.
As long as you
One
space
thing-
it out correctly.
This is running at 200 RPM for the first and second stage, which is quite a bit slow. So your skill scores is going to suffer along with not being able to do as much as you want during the autonomous period. I would recommend speeding it up
Yeah.
for sure. Maybe switching to a pneumatic 4-bar lift if you're going to stay with this design. And then using a blue motor on the first and second stage.
Queen bot.
Yeah, B tier.
I already gave it an S tier, so they got to keep it like that.
Alrighty. Next, we got Adrian. We got
3018A.
from
Thanks,
Vex
Caliber.
Caliber. We actually allied with this robot at a tournament.
Real. This robot's a W. It's a little slow, but good build quality. Kind of bulky, but positives there. Lady Brown works really well. Their clamp works. Intake works. So,
Battery mount looks really nice, actually.
yeah.
Not the best for center of
sure.
gravity, but looks like it's really secure. So I'm gonna say
They also have
I'm gonna give this an A tier.
really good triangle braces on their intake.
Yeah. And overall, good bracing around. So A tier.
Awesome sauce. Let's keep going.
We're just gonna set up an hour-long video.
Yeah.
it's gonna be
How many
2
days have we gone
long
through?
videos.
Dude, we've only been through 5 days.
I see why it's taking him so long.
The Luke Christmas special is crazy.
An hour-long Christmas special without Luke.
Should we just call it there, honestly? Because we already did all that talking about not robot stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.